Hello, and welcome to my little channel. So, I was at work the other day and I read this article. It's a very well written article, kind of non-biased, if you could believe it, from the Washington Post. A very tragic thing happened. I think there should be a lesson not to come to the United States illegally. They should go through legal measures to get here. Very tragic. Like I said, the story, I'm not going to read it. I'm not going to be a Tim Pool and actually read it. It's going to go directly to my opinion. I think everyone here's read this or heard this and had their opinions. Like I said, I was kind of disgusted by some of the comments. Let's see here. Now this was back in a couple of days ago, so I read them recently. This was as never would have happened if they stayed put in their own country. So why is U.S. responsible for this? All you bleeding hearts out there, go to the border and volunteer. Provide aid and comfort these people using your own personal resources. And invite them into your home and take care of all needs with your money. Problem solved. No taxpayer money required. Yeah, that wasn't these type of comments. Comments there were falls on President Trump, falls on the Border Patrol. But keep in mind, these people are these that are running from their country for economic reasons or persecutions or whatever reason that they think they have the right to come to the United States illegally. I just find that kind of offensive towards the legal immigrants that come here. You know, the ones that actually obey the law, the ones that actually go through the proper paperwork. From what I understand, it's not cheap to come here. It's not, at least I should say, it's not cheap to come here legally. I don't know. That's something that could be addressed. I don't know. I just really don't know. I'm not that inept on it because I'm not going through it myself. See here, what does Pork Chop have to say? Just a thought I would pop on here and explain what really killed her child. Undoubtedly, it's true that she had a dehydration. She had dehydration. That sounds weird. Any water bottles in that van? But it also said that she had exhaustion. That's totally possible. She walked through the desert into New Mexico. Can't imagine what her little feet look like. But she probably had heat exhaustion. That condition lies just short of heat stroke. Not sure how the septic shock got into the mix, but we'll find out soon enough. She's been given water immediately after first contact with the Border Patrol. She would have probably be alive today. I know many on the right have been making excuses for these agents, but her father sure didn't put her in that predicament. I'm sure her father thought he had brought enough food and water. He didn't. Her death lies at the feet of these agents. Homeland Security and our horrendous president. On-spot execution is what the Philippine dictator Rodrigo Duterte does to drug dealers and now petty criminals. This is not American value. Compassion should always come first to these asylum seekers. Is that too much to ask? Except the Border Patrol did offer water. The child's feet were just fine. Parents took care of her just fine. The U.S. police took the child and killed it by neglect, except for the Border Patrol. Really? What police department? I don't know if these people actually know what heat exhaustion is. There's 3 levels to it. I forget what it is. There's heat exhaustion and then heat stroke. When I was in the military, deployed in Iraq, about maybe about a week out before I were to come back home on leave. I actually had heat exhaustion. And I can tell you right now, water did not help. I had those long liter bottles that had 100 or so chemicals to make it drinkable. I think I drank through 2 of those and was still pouring out sweat. It actually took me going into an AC building to actually lower my core temperature down. So no, not drinking water helps, or a cure-all. And I'm pretty sure they did everything possible. And even this person mentioned that they went into New Mexico, which is pretty much desert, depending on where you enter in. So no, the blame is definitely on the father for making this trek. For whatever reason, like I said, this one's tough because there's a death of a child, and nobody wants to hear stories about dead children. It's horrible, it's tragic, but our president's not responsible. Our border patrol's not responsible. My opinion, it lies with the father. Water to a girl vomiting. Yes, I can tell you. A child dying of dehydration after 8 hours of touching. It's hard to square to that with. Or took every possibility to change their circumstances. I don't know, doctor, but maybe they could provide water and medical assistance. Water to a girl vomiting. Yes, I could tell. Yeah, I mean that's kind of going to what I was. My heat exhaustion story. I mean, I wasn't throwing it up, but I was sweating. I think I was sweating out faster than I was taking in. Oh no, Valpo, she didn't die from dehydration or exhaustion. She died from septic shock. But you know that, don't you? Like I said, I'm not really sure what septic shock is. How long was this video? Sure, why not? Let's go ahead and actually learn what septic shock is from our healthline.com. What is septic shock? Sepsis is a result of infection that's caused by a drastic change in the body and can be very dangerous and potentially life-threatening. For example, it occurs when chemicals that fight the infections are triggered by inflammatory reactions that are released into the bloodstream. Doctors have identified 3 stages of sepsis. Sepsis is when an infection reaches the bloodstream and causes inflammation of the body. Severe sepsis is when the infection is severe enough to affect the function of your organs such as the heart, brain, and kidneys. Septic shock is when you experience a significant drop in blood pressure that can lead to respiratory or heart failure, stroke, failure of other organs, and death. Excuse me. It is a thought that inflammation results of septic shock causes tiny blood clots to form. This can block oxygen and nutrients from reaching vital organs. The inflammation occurs most often in older adults and those with weakened immune system. But both sepsis and septic shock can happen to anyone. Septic shock is the most common cause of death in intensive care units in the United States. Early symptoms of sepsis that should not be ignored. These include fever, usually higher than 101. Yeah, I think they said that her temperature was 105. Let's see if I can see that real quick. Yeah, 105.7. And yes, that's my dog barking. He loves to bark when I'm on the mic, outside of course. Oh yeah, low body temperature. That doesn't really compute. Yeah, fever, And then low body temperature. That's right. Fast heart rate, rapid breathing, or more than 20 breaths per minute. Oh, rapid breathing, yes. Severe sepsis is defined as sepsis with evidence of organ damage that usually affects the kidney, heart, lungs, or brain. These symptoms are noticeable lower amounts of urine, acute confusion, dizziness, severe problem breathing, lower discolorations of the digits or lips. People experiencing septic shock will experience the symptoms of severe sepsis, but they will also have very low blood pressure that does not respond to fluid replacement. Wow. So that means if you were to give her water, it doesn't really respond. That's interesting. What causes septic shock? A bacteria, fungal, or viral infection that causes sepsis. Any of the infections that may begin at home or while you're in the hospital for treatment of other conditions. Commonly originate from abnormal or digestive system infections, lung infections like pneumonia, urinary tract infection, reproductive system infection. Which tests are used to die? Yeah, not really caring about that. As you can see, you can read that right here. I'll include that. There's a link in the description down below. But yeah, even if the Border Patrol offered her water and she was already in shock, it's not gonna really help. Per this page right here. Like I said, it's tragic that a 7-year-old girl, regardless of what status, is dead. But the blame is not on my government or my president or my Border Patrol that has a job to protect my borders. And I'm saying mine because I'm a United States citizen. I'm proud to be one. While I do find this very tragic, I find the outrage is misplaced. I think the blame should be on the father himself for making this trek with his child. Like I said, I don't know his conditions. I don't know what type of life he has. But there's a legal way of doing things. And then there's the illegal way of things. And illegal is not the best option, nor the safest option. But yeah, I just wanted to rant about some of those comments because that actually irritated me and kind of set the mood for the whole day. But that was the other day while I was at work. Hopefully you enjoyed this, and hopefully I taught you about septic shock and some of the conditions to look for. That's all I have on this video. Thanks for watching, and have yourself a wonderful day, morning, or evening.